Alright folks, just want to take a few minutes here to talk about a recent purchase that I made. And this ESEE-4 hunting, survival, bushcraft, woodsmanship knife that I picked up. And before we start talking about some details, I did want to say that I picked this up from a fellow YouTuber, Swiss Army Zippo, Nick over at the Swiss Army Zippo channel. And he was selling this on Instagram for a heck of a deal. I like ESEE knives, and I have a couple of them. We'll take a look at those in a few minutes. And I wanted to get an ESEE-4, but I had no intention of buying one. And he posted it up at a price I couldn't pass up. So here I am with another knife that I didn't have any plans to buy. Let's just talk a little bit about the knife's construction real quick. It is overall length of 9 inches and has a 4.06 cutting edge. The actual blade measured from the handle is actually 4.5 inches, but as you can see, there's a little bit of a choil area here. The blade from top to bottom is 1.25 inches, and its thickness is 0.188 of an inch. It's about 3 millimeters. It does have some jimping on the back here that I would call functional. It's not aggressive jimping, but it is jimping that works. A lot of folks will strip these knives down, and once you do that, this jimping becomes a little bit better once you get this coating off of here. It's made out of 1095 carbon steel, and it's hardened to a 57 Rockwell. Now, there's a lot more to a steel's strength, toughness, and wear resistance than just the Rockwell number. Rockwell really is just how far they could push a diamond tip into the steel, how hard they could do that before it made a dent. So it doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Anyhow, micarta handles, which I think are great. I like micarta, and when it gets wet, it still stays grippy. I think it makes a great handle material, and it comes coated with this finish that helps maintain the blade. Carbon steel, high carbon steel such as this, can become stained very easily. It can incur rust. I've taken, and I've got videos about it. This is the first ESEE I bought in Azula, and I added the scales afterwards. And this thing rusts like crazy. I mean, I'll take it into the woods, and 15 minutes later, it's rusted. It's developed a patina over time that helps with rust prevention, but you really need to make sure that you keep these blades dry, oiled, and maintain them. And though there's no reason they won't last a lifetime, I'm a big fan of carbon steel. I think it's the appropriate choice for being out in the woods for a couple of reasons. One, it has reasonable wear resistance, but it has very good toughness. You can beat these things, you can bend these things, and they're very resilient. And then you can also sharpening them without a fancy sharpening kit. So for me, it's the right choice. Everybody can make their own choice. Big fan of the carbon blades, and I probably will strip the coating off of this at some point in time. I'm not in a big hurry to do so because I have a huge pile of knives that I still need to get some use on before I get this one out there. That being said, these are produced by Rowen Knives for ESEE, and people talk about Rowen's heat treat being some sort of magical heat treat where he hardens these in dragon breath, and then he quenches them in unicorn tears. But the end result is a very good knife. It's very well made, and then ESEE offers an unconditional money-back guarantee if something were to happen to the knife. So that means if this thing, you drop it out of a helicopter and it snaps in half, they'll replace it. A lot of people will talk about ESEE knives and say, well, damn son, they're expensive. And they are. I mean, I think this blade retails for about $110, $120. But in my opinion, I think you're getting a heck of a bargain for that. And I'm sure there's some padding in there based off of X percentage of these things need to be replaced because people do dumb stuff. If you watch YouTube, you'll see people throwing these things at tree stumps and trying to hammer them through cinder blocks and stuff like that. And I'm sure ESEE replaces a lot of those. But I think most people who are buying these knives are buying them, know how to use a knife, and they're not doing dumb shit with them, and they're not returning them. I have put these, here's the last ESEE I bought was this ESEE-3, and this has not gotten as much use as I wanted it to. But I put these things to some pretty hard use, and they perform fine. I've had no problems with them, and I wouldn't hesitate to use them aggressively. And then this is the ESEE Kangaroo that I use as a neck knife. So, like I said, I'm a big fan of ESEE knives. Saw a chance to pick up the 4, and I went ahead and did that. That's really it. I just wanted to do a quick show and tell, show the knife, throw a big thanks out there to Nick for selling it at such a reasonable price, and then just talk about it a little bit. I don't know, maybe you guys have some ideas. Maybe I should strip it, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe there's some sort of video that you want to see. I doubt anybody wants to see a cooking video. And I plan on doing some testing with this, so even though I don't like the word testing around knives, maybe we'll do a video of batoning and feather sticking and notch carving, right, like the usual YouTube tester process there. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Anyhow, like I said, I just wanted to do a quick video, show it off. That's it. Thanks, everybody.